Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Love in Riyadh show. Today is the 16th of April. Today's episode is about two very different moments, but both in their own way are about timing. One is about a split-second decision that saved a life, and the other is about something that has quietly documented an entire country for over a century. Let's start with the first story. Imagine you're just driving to work, nothing unusual, just another normal day, and then something catches your attention. A car ahead of you starts swerving, not slightly, but enough to make you pause. And in that moment, you have a choice: ignore it or act on it. In this case, a woman noticed something wasn't right. And instead of continuing on her way, she turned back. That decision, just turning back, is what changed everything. Because when she reached the car, she realized the driver had lost consciousness. The car was moving, but no one was actually in control. And that's the kind of situation where every second matters. So she stepped in quickly, instinctively, and managed to take control of the situation before it turned into something much worse. It's one of those moments that feels almost unreal when you think about it, because if she had been just a few seconds earlier or later, if she hadn't looked in the mirror, if she had hesitated, the outcome could have been completely different. And that's what makes it powerful. Not just what she did, but when she did it. Right place, right time, and the willingness to act. Now, from a moment that lasted a few seconds to something that has been happening for over 100 years, let's talk about al-Qura, because while some moments happen instantly, others unfold slowly over decades. Al-Qura is a newspaper that was established back in 1924. And from the very beginning, it had a very specific role to document, to record, to make sure that everything official, from decisions to laws to announcements, was written down clearly and consistently. At the time, Saudi Arabia was still in its early stages. Things were being built, organized, defined, and there needed to be a reliable source that people could refer to. That's where al-Qura came in. Over time, it became the official gazette of the kingdom, which means that any major regulation or decision had to be published through it. But what's interesting is how that role evolved, because when you look at it today, it's not just a newspaper, it's an archive, a timeline, a way to look back and understand how things developed. Through its pages, you can trace how systems were introduced, how ministries were formed, how policies changed over time. It's like watching the country grow step by step, but in written form. And like everything else, it adapted. What started as a printed newspaper is now mostly digital, accessible, searchable, and much easier to navigate. But the purpose stayed the same: to document, to record, to preserve. And in 2024, it marked 100 years, a full century of continuously capturing what's happening. And when you think about that, it's kind of rare because consistency like that doesn't happen by accident. It reflects structure, stability, and trust in the system it represents. Now, if you put both of today's stories side by side, they seem completely different. One is fast, emotional, unexpected. The other is steady, structured, and long-term. But they both come down to the same idea: moments matter. Some moments happen in seconds and change someone's life. Others build over years and shape an entire nation's story. And both, in their own way, are worth noticing. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for tuning into the Love and Riyadh podcast as part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcast from.